Okay?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So, back with you here. 6-5 the final. Nichols knocks off top-ranked LSU in Baton Rouge. First win over the #1 team in the country for Nichols since beating LSU here in Baton Rouge, April the 15th of 2009. Coach, first off, congrats to you. Just how you drew it up, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, exactly how we drew it up. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm happy for our kids, and our defensive plays we made. So many guys stepped up tonight. I'm sure you're going to go through the list of them, but just really happy and proud for not only our players but the people that support us. It's a special moment for them as well.
Well, let's start here. The ending of it. Obviously, Parker could do one of many guys, and we'll go through the list like you said to make great defensive plays. But you got a bases-loaded situation. Cade Evans is struggling a little bit at the start of the frame. Veloso gets a little pop up there. If that falls, the game is over. Take me through what you saw in that play and the ability of Parker to do what, frankly, not many shortstops in the country can do to make that play and seal it.
Yeah, well, he's a dynamic athlete. I wouldn't trade him for anybody. The growth that he's had over the last 2 years, just staying in the moment. And there's times defensively when we're struggling. I felt like last year that he kind of let things get away from him. But he has the ability to be great, and I think it was on display tonight. Defensively, so many guys, I can't even. The plays we made in the outfield, guys coming off the bench and making picks at first base. Parker making that play is, that's a moment. This game's full of special moments. That's a moment for him that I'm sure he's going to look back on probably years later when he's coming with his kids to watch games.
One of two that he made tonight. He made one, I think, on Joe Bear as well in the fourth inning, laying out. So between Toops making two absurd catches in center, Zane making one near the wall and right, the two by Cadu, is that as solid a defensive performance as you've seen from a team you've coached in your baseball career?
Yeah, I would think so. I was trying to think about it when the game was over. We just made so many plays, and I talked to them a lot about playing offense on defense and taking runs off the board from the other team with your defensive plays. I think today's game is just spent in batting cages, right? And guys don't work on the fundamentals. I can promise you that Coach Rhodes is constantly working with the outfielders. They work on those plays. You don't see them turn up very often, but they're game-changing plays. And then on the infield, Coach Woods, he's out there early every day with those guys, working on different scenarios and the positioning that he had those guys. And I always say before, are we in the right position? I want to be lined up right. I use a lot of football analogies, and that credit goes to the coaching staff, having them in the right position. And then obviously you recruit and you coach up really good players, and then you try to free him up to go make great plays. I was trying to smile at him when he was hitting. He lined out, and just because sometimes it's so important to him. He wants to do so well, and just really happy for him to have that moment.
You and I were talking before the year, and you told me between Wes Toops and Zane Washington in center and right, that's maybe as good a defensive duo as there is in the country in the outfield. For Wes to miss that much time and come back and make this kind of impact, I mean, what can you say about how impressive this has been?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll get emotional talking about it. The injuries that kid's had.
I don't know if everyone knows how much he's been.
Yeah, most people would have quit. That's the truth. What he's been through, and then to go put his body time and time again in harm's way. I think we talk a lot about toughness and blue-collar mentality. And there's nothing, in my opinion, that's more special than putting your body in harm's way for your team and your teammates. And, you could just feel the momentum throughout the game. And I was just proud in the last inning. Kate just kept pitching. We always talk about just keep playing. This game's crazy, right? You never know what's going to happen. And, we were fortunate enough tonight for it to come out on our side.
A remarkable effort. Again, Nichols beats top-ranked LSU 6-5 here tonight at the box in Baton Rouge. Let's talk a little offense, Coach. All right, so ninth inning, LSU responded after you guys get up 3-0. They get those 4 runs in the sixth. You guys get a run back in the eighth in a chaotic sequence. I won't go into it too much because we could probably talk forever with the ruling and everything. But ninth inning, you turn to Braden Curriger. Why the decision to go to him, and how impressive for a true freshman to come through in that spot? What have you seen in him that has told you, yeah, he can deliver in that kind of spot for us to go ahead and hit?
I just had talked to the team before the game tonight in the locker room before we came out the stretch, and we have a lot of good players here. And I think in the past maybe it was, Nicholls is just Nicholls. And Braden Curriger is going to be a really good player. I think he's going to play professional baseball one day. I had to go up to him when I played Jaden Kay at first base and tell him, look, this has nothing to do with how you're playing. Like, you're going to come up with big hits. It's going to be big moments. I didn't know it was going to be that big of a moment. But he's not afraid. He's not intimidated. That kid shows up every day and works, and the things that fans don't get to see. And he works on his defense in the outfield and the infield, and offensively he's working his butt off. He's a tough kid with a lot of character. He's from right down the road here. I can't quantify what that moment means to him. It means a lot to us too. But I did have confidence in him. I mean, it's the biggest moment in the game, and to pinch hit him right there. I figured if he got a pitch to handle, he's going to. I think he's a really good player. You can't get everybody in all the time, and hats off to him for being ready. We talk a lot about that. Coaches do. Be ready for your moment. You never know. I just talked about it before the game. You convince yourself sometimes that it's not your time or it's not your moment, and it might be. So you have to prepare yourself every day. This is going to be my moment. He was ready. He had his batting gloves on and his helmet before I pinch hit him. You look down, you see that. As a coach, it gives you confidence.
That is awesome. I feel like at this point, too, we're running out of superlatives to describe what Zane's doing. 2 more hits for him, 2 more RBI. The hitting streak is to 15 games. For him to be this consistent for this long now, can you put into words what you're seeing from him and what he's doing at the plate?
Yeah, 2 things. It's outstanding, number 1. But number 2, I expect it from him. I think that highly of him as a player. I see it every day. And I think at times in his career, he's put too much pressure on himself. I want him to relax, go have fun, compete his tail off. I think he's doing that. I think every once in a while when he sneaks in a bat or something, it doesn't carry over. Where before I felt like he used to press. Look, hats off to Lad Rhodes and him. They develop a really good relationship. Lad's done an outstanding job communicating and working with him. But as I always say, and our staff will say, the credit goes to the players. Zane's put a lot of work in, man. He's a kid from right down the road, and this place means a lot to our players. And I know this is a world of everybody when it's not going their way, they shut down and they quit and they transfer. I think our kids are going to stay here and they're going to build something special, and I'm really proud of that.
All right, well, last thing for you. You've talked about where you want this program to go. I know that the goal is winning a conference championship, going to a regional, and going somewhere this program hasn't been, obviously, more than 20 years. What does this win say about where this program is, and now how do you carry this momentum forward into Northwestern State?
Yeah, I wish I had the answers to that. I mean, I think enjoy it. I think you got to enjoy these. These are special moments. You enjoy it tonight, and tomorrow you get back to work. Honestly, you start shifting the attention to Northwestern State and everything we want's in front of us. We're going to play some really good teams. I think our conference doesn't get respect sometimes, and being in this conference for 2 years, I didn't come in with the expectation that the conference would be weak. I think we have tremendous coaches and really good teams. We're going to have our work cut out for it, and we're going to have to transition from being, the hunters to the hunted, right? And our guys have to be comfortable playing in that. But winning a game like this, hopefully that gives them confidence that if it's about us and we just go play our game and we play well and consistently well, that we feel like we should have an opportunity to win them all.
That is Nicholls baseball head coach Mike Silva. In his 2nd year, he gets a win over number 1. Nicholls knocks off LSU here in Baton Rouge 6-5. Colonels are now 20.